And a pleasant good evening to each and every one of you all. Thank you so much for joining us here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al. Taco Tuesday to you. Thank you for checking in. You're watching me on Facebook right now, and I look kind of dark or in the dark. Um, my little ring light is doing its own thing, and I'll probably be messing with it once I get on the air. But until then, yeah, I'll be a little dark tonight, but that's okay. Like they always say, I had so looking at me is not an option tonight. Anyway, coming up in our last hour, we do a little thing we call foreplay. Four songs by one of your favorite artists or groups, male or female. It's in our last hour here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, as we kick it off with Norman Connors and Company. The company, of course, is Phyllis Hyman and Michael Henderson. This is We Both Need Each Other. Good evening to Duran, who is checking in on Facebook. I know I look a little dark. I explained that earlier. I'm working with my ring light. I might have to turn the lights on in the studio. Wouldn't that be something? Be able to see all the dust and the dirt and the cobwebs and everything else. It's Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Duran, what's going on, sir? I have no pride, and I resemble that. There we go. There we go. That's a little brighter there. Ah, much better. Don't ask me what I did. I don't know. But it worked. Had a pretty decent day. Well, that's good. Better than an indecent day. It's like my headphones are shedding. I have to fix the other ones. Yeah, I know. Crazy glue. I think the guy that sold them to me knew they were going. So he's like, let me hurry up and get rid of these. Make it so bad they still work. Chris Bass, what's going on? Hello to the good and the bad people in Bass's world. Thank you for joining me, sir. Appreciate you. We both deserve each other's love. Love. Yo, Angie. Yo, Angie. What's up, sis? To be by your side. Still fighting this cold here. And the cold seems to be winning. Looks like you got a nap in. Yes, I did. I went straight to sleep when I got home. Dropped off my niece, went straight to bed. Straight to bed. I was like, wow. We both deserve each other's love. The love that we won't get anywhere else. I'm just saying. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. That is LTD featuring Mr. Jeffrey Osborne. Before that, Norman Connors, Michael Henderson, and the late great Phyllis Hyman, Greer. Yes, it is your once again peanut butter brother. This is bedtime stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Here on WRSD Radio, Beach Radio Chicago, WRLN, and WBOE, the best of everything. Thank you to Donna Lynn Biggs, also to my good friend, I'm sorry, Professor Reggie Miles, and of course, my nephew, Ray Neal of Ray Neal Media. Speaking of which, this Saturday, excuse me, this Saturday will be the Dusty Record Convention on 87th and Paulina and St. Ethelreda. It's a day party. So therefore, once we're done, you can go straight home. Some of you will be in the dark and some of you won't because some of you will leave early. So it won't be like late at night. All right. Okay. St. Ethelreda, once again, 87th and Paulina, the Dusty Record Convention rolls on in memory of Richard's Earl Piggy. On this show, we do a little thing we call foreplay, but who did it best? Here's a taste of honey and their version of I'll try something new on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Them headphones have been through hell. Anyway, and they still work. The other ones broke, but they still work. I got what, 8 more pair of headphones. I just like those, you know. Uh, I should be using my Sony headphones. Maybe I'll do that while I fix the other ones. Anyway, while I got you all on the line here, um, this AI thing is going crazy. When I was a kid, we used to go to the black church a lot. And that certainly was inspiration to me. Everything, all this music, all these singers. And the main thing is when you start singing, you discover yourself, you discover your talent, singing. So, of course, everything we do in music has been influenced by so much, rock and roll and country, bluegrass. Yeah. Once again, this whole AI thing, they had a picture or a video of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. as a DJ, and he's talking. He's like, "Look, the beat drop." I'm like, um, folks, don't you know? Maybe you don't. That his likeness is a trademark of the King family. So when you see something like that, it's like, you know, in some ways it's flattering that we can see Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once again. in one way, it's flattering, and in other ways, it's like Aunt Esther used to, it's blasphemy, you know? Like, for instance, if you ever were a fan of the Boondocks, and this was excellently done, it was just beautiful. It did an episode based on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. What if he came back? And it's right, it's sacrilegious, but the way they did it, it was wonderful. You know, somebody did his voice and everything else. He said, I may not get to the promised land because I'm going to Canada. And, it was funny, but it was realistic. And at the end, they said, what if, you know, um, uh, and I think the words were a person can dream. And it was so beautifully done. It was just, wow. What if he had lived and saw what was happening now, with the person who is in the White House now? What would he have said about that? You know, if Malcolm X were still alive, what would he have said about that? What would his feelings be? And that's just it. There was a line in the Boondocks episode. He said, "Is this why I got all these ass whoopings for you all to act like niggas?" I was like, "Ooh, okay." They were having a Martin Luther King Day party and everything else. It wasn't about a party. Once again, the way they put it together was cool. It was cool. It was great. It was beautifully written and animated and everything else. And they ended it with what if? What if? You know, would he be would he be proud of us of what we've done and where we could, you know, what's up, Brittany? would he would he be proud of us? Would he be like, y'all pulled yourselves together? No, we didn't. We didn't. We didn't vote for Miss Harris because she was a black woman. Most guys, well, they love their mamas. Kamala is the mama. May not have her own children, but you know, Smokey Robinson, The Miracles, and I'll try something new. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Who did it best, Smokey or A Taste of Honey? Well, Smokey, of course, was the original, so we got to give him some credit because Smokey's probably one of the best songwriters ever. Not because I said so, but Bob Dylan said so. All right. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Hello to my sister from another Mr. Angie Martin Turner, and to my daughter Brittany, who has probably never been on any of my videos ever. But thank you, sweetheart. She must be off work today or something. But thank you for being on there. Brittany Tanisha, and she's probably the only child I got to actually name. you you would have thought my son Alonzo was named because of me. No, his mother named him that because she wanted him to, I guess, carry on the family legacy. He could have been Alonzo Brown. He could have been anything, but when he was born, she said to the nurse, she turned around and looked her dead in the eye. His name is Alonzo Philip Greer III. I was like, okay, yep, like she said. Brittany, I got to name. The name Brittany, I was going to name Larice Brittany. But her mother had a friend who had a dog named Brittany. So therefore, I was like, well, if I got a name or something, it might as well be Brittany. So her mother gave her her middle name, Tanisha. So there you have it. The story of some of my children. Uh, More to follow later on. Right now, one of the most beautiful love songs ever written, ever made, ever recorded. Jerry Butler, The Impressions on Bedtime Stories. You got to work in the morning. Okay. Well, thank you for being on with your old man. Yeah. And so forgot I had something to drink. And it's just cranberry juice. It's like a cranberry something, cranberry and pineapple or whatever. It's ocean spray. So anyway, so for those of you out there who are receiving SNAP benefits, it's just unfortunate. It really is not a joke, but some stores are preparing for looting because people have to eat. You know, it's always been, hey, you want to buy some link? Can I buy some link from you? Can I, you know, it's interesting because a few years ago, Kanye West got on TV and said Bush doesn't care about black people. Was that Bush at the time? Yeah, doesn't care about black people. Trump don't care about poor people, and that's just it. To him, uh, poor people are like an eyesore to him because he grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth. So hey, on the 1st of November, I'm scared to go outside. It's gonna be like one of those movies, like one of those Will Smith movies. So it's like end of the world type thing. It's just unfortunate that we had so many reasons not to vote in Kamala Harris. Oh, she has no experience. Well, she was in the White House for 8 years. She's been a prosecutor half of her life. You know, it was all the way up to the end. And then, like they say on all of these shows, then tragedy struck. And we reelected what we put out of office. You know, he's a manipulator. He's everything that she said that he was. And everybody's just waiting for her to just say on any program that she's interviewed on, I told you so. But we'll say it for you, Cameron. You told us so. We didn't want to listen. We could have made history twice. Black man, black woman. But we didn't want to. One of my favorite Temptations songs from the album The Temptations sing Smokey. That is, you'll lose a precious love. My favorite part in there is when Melvin steps up to the mic, you know, it's just like you could see them in the studio. David steps back and Melvin steps up and says, "Don't destroy our precious love." And he steps back like, "Okay, you got it, Dave. Come on, Ruff, finish the song for me." That is my favorite part of the song. He was one of my favorites in the Temptations. Of course, everybody loved David Ruffin. Everybody loved Dennis Edwards. Sweet Eddie Kendricks, they couldn't get enough of him. Otis, nobody came to see Otis, but that's okay. Paul Williams, Richard Street, I mean, the list goes on. Even Damon, the ladies loved Damon too. He was just like a little Eddie Kendricks there. Anyway, I could talk about the Temptations all day and all night, but this is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep, the greatest love songs of all time. Here's a song that was written for Patti LaBelle. Hmm, I don't know if he was in love with her or he just thought, maybe I'll give this song to her to record. Either way it went, she didn't record it. He did. It was on the Sign of the Times album, one of the last songs on the album. And when I listen to the words, I get it. Love is too weak to define what you mean to me. This is Prince Rogers Nelson and Adore. Whew. Mhm. We could have made history twice. First black man president, first black woman president. Mm-mm. Nope. There was an album a few years ago that was put out by a group by the name of, I think it was, 'cause I'm not too good on hip hop. So Chris Banks, feel free to help me out. Fear of a Black Planet. Wasn't that Public Enemy to put out that album? Fear of a Black Planet. You know, some people are kind of used to us now, after, so many years, like we can't change anything, you know. The 8 years that Obama was in office, everything ran smoothly, you know. There were no wars. He didn't try to tear the building up that, many presidents had inhabited. None of that stuff. And he said himself, he said, if I tried to tear up the White House, you all would have kicked my butt. I don't know if he said that exactly, but you all would have looked at me all strange, like, huh. What's Barack doing? Well, what is he? Why is he tearing up the place? You know, he would not have done anything that stupid. As a matter of fact, you know, I guess the person who's in it now figures it's the White House and it named the White House for a reason. So I'm still trying to figure out, you know, what's really going on and why no one has tried to stop him. I understand he's the president of the United States, but at some point, judges and, members of Congress need to get together and say, whoa, 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 wait a minute. And of course, he did it during the shutdown. So there was nobody to stop him. You know, what's going to be next? He's going to concrete everything. He did the Rose Garden that way. The Rose Garden that then First Lady Kennedy had put together, you know. And of course, when LBJ became the president after Kennedy was assassinated, she kept it up, and so on and so forth. Um, all the way to Michelle Obama. And you notice you never hear too much about Melania. She's hardly ever in the news. You know, what can I tell you? What can be said about that? To me, I think maybe she's embarrassed. He's got all these people coming to wreak havoc, that is, and that of course is ICE. You know, who who are these heartless people who trounce on people who are, I don't want to say less fortunate because some of them probably, are well to do. I heard recently they were on the east side of Chicago, on like 60 76 in polls. I'm like, tear gas canisters where there are schools, tear gas on a child, on children, period. I don't get it. What kind of monsters are these people to open tear gas on innocent children? Now, Facebook, you can take me down or whatever, but it's the truth. It's on video. People have this footage on their cell phones. And the question is why? On children, innocent children. They're ripping the children out of the adults' arms to try to take these people because they feel like they're illegal immigrants. They're not here. They're here and they're not supposed to be here. The leader of Japan is a woman. She donated 200 cherry trees to him today. To him, who? To him, it. He is absolutely made us the laughing stock of the world. You know, in other countries, they're laughing. They're like, is this guy for real? Is he for real? Is this really happening? You know, all over the world. Buenas noches, señor. ¿Cómo estás? That's Javier, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Hispanic Al Greer. But but anyway, it makes no sense. There's certain people who voted for him because they thought they were going to be safe. Safe from what? And now they're seeing how safe that they really are, and that is they're not. You know, it's like the preachers always say we're living in perilous times right now. And no words were true, truly spoken until recently, because it's like, yeah, gracias, de nada, señor. I know a little Spanish, but it's just local. He's local, to borrow a word from my brother. You know, El presidente is local. See, you know, some people voted for him who were Hispanic. I'm like, okay. And of course, everybody else, they just ate them up like Skittles, like M&Ms. Yeah, that is Prince Rogers Nelson for Monique. And damn you, right here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Hello to my brother from another mother, Javier. Buenas noches, senor. I know a little Spanish there. Only because I can get the translation. It says, good night, my brother Al Greer. Buenas noches, Armando. Oman. See, I got a cold, so I can't say it. Hermano. Hermano. Anyway, gracias, senor. Thank you for being on my live. Muchas gracias. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. My birthday party is Saturday, December 20th. Saturday, December 20th. Where it's going to be at yet, I don't know, but stay tuned because I'll let you know, all right? It's Blue Magic and Marty Joseph. What's come over me? I wish I knew, boy. Certain things you can go right. Mm. Dimple on the side. Let's go blow my nose. He's back. All right. And on another note, this guy, Bob Joyce, Reverend Bob Joyce, Pastor Bob, you know, how can I put it? People are so starved for Elvis. I get it. He was, great entertainer, great imitator of black folks music. He grew up listening to it. He went to black churches and heard the music, and he heard Roy Hamilton do "Don't Let Go." And he said, "Yeah, I like that sound." Oh no, don't let go. He liked all of that. People say he was racist. You know, he wasn't the racist one. It was Jerry Lee Lewis who was racist. If you ever saw the movie that they did, Great Balls of Fire, he had to set his piano on fire to get a reaction out of folks. The person that followed him on stage was Chuck Berry. And his words to Chuck Berry as he walked off stage and his piano was on fire, he was like, "Follow that one, ninja." And Chuck Berry proceeded to go out there and whip out a can of whoop ass on him with some duck walk. Yeah. While you marrying your cousin and stuff, you know. Yeah, I got something for you, partner. And he whipped out a can of St. Louis whoop ass on him. So, but to my knowledge, I've never heard Elvis call anybody out of his name. I've seen him in pictures with Jackie Wilson, with BB King. Ray Charles didn't care for him. You know, as a matter of fact, in an interview, Ray said, "The king of what? The king of imitators." And that's basically what he was doing. He imitated what he heard. You can't be from the South and not imitate somebody that you've heard before. And that was it. He like, okay, well, this is gonna sell records. Since the black folks weren't selling records too well, singing their own songs, and that's what happened. You know, Pat Boone redid Tutti Frutti by Little Richard, and long Long, tall Sally. So, hey, they were listening to us. You know, we're not given any credit for what we've done. The first time we heard the words rock was in a black song. It wasn't in, wasn't no Aerosmith song, wasn't Rolling Stones or anything like that. There's a song called Good Rockin' Tonight. Look it up. That's probably one of the first records that used the word rock in it. You know, the word rock was used as another word for fornicate. Well, not fornicate, but just, you know, yeah, that. So instead of, good rocking, instead of good effing tonight, it was good rocking tonight. Tonight she'll know my mighty man. So they just took it and adapted it and made it rock and roll. So what do you do in the bed? You rock and you roll. You F and then you roll over and go to sleep, right? I'm just saying. White folks didn't invent rock and roll. They didn't invent blues, and they sure as hell didn't invent R&B. Turn around from Blue Magic spell. You must have put a spell on my mind. You must have put something in my food. I don't know. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. And like I always say, you can get over smoking, get the nicotine patch, and you can go cold turkey and stop drinking. My sister Deb, she was a teenage alcoholic. We never knew. We never knew that she was drinking, but she was. But she got herself together. And the only thing she drinks is what I'm drinking right now, and that's cranberry juice. But love, mm, even you can step away from smoking weed and replace it with something else, these clove cigarettes. But love, mm, love you never really get over. You just deal with it in a different way. And that's it. And you hope that one day that you'll meet someone else that is worthy of that love that you gave that other person. Am I making any sense here? You're the spinners. We belong together on Bedtime Story. We belong. Home internet, $35 a month. That is it any good? And does the price change afterwards? $35 a month. If you have T-Mobile for home internet, hit me up. I want to know because AT&T is kicking my butt like they keep going up. If you have T-Mobile for your internet provider at home, hit me up. They got the box, and the box is good. Then let me know. I might keep both of them. I don't know if T-Mobile is fast enough for what I do because I'm running a radio station here, so it's got to be pretty. You know, I have fiber optic and all of that stuff. So, but I don't know if anyone who has T-Mobile that has a whole. So, as not looking to switch. I can pay the bill. You won't get paid till Friday, but let me know. T-Mobile or not T-Mobile? Ha ha ha. That is the question. Or just stick with the AT&T and just give them some twos and fews and keep them from cutting it off. That's the only company I know. Um, ComEd, they want their money and they want it now. They want all of it. You know, unless you get on some sort of payment plan. I mean, but woo, the hammer is about to come down. The hammer's about to come down. The hammer is coming down, folks. You better hear me. Hear me though. All right, sir. Love you too. Good night. Remember, tall, light skinned, busty. All of that stuff. No, I'm back. No, I'm making myself sick right now. I'm falling in love with you from Little Anthony and the Imperials on Bedtime Stories. With your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Coming up in our last hour, we do a thing we call foreplay. Four songs by one of your favorite artists or groups, male or female. That's in our last hour here on Bedtime Stories. And of course, all this week I've been playing some of the greatest love songs of all time. Not just because I say so. Some of these are classics. Some of them you can find on the B side of most 45s for those who are old enough to remember 45s. What was the B side of More Love from Smokey Robinson and the Miracles? Oh, yeah, it was this one. Like dust in the room. Flipping the 45s and playing the B side. Hmm. The B side, of course, of let's try this again. Of More Love by Smokey Robinson and Miracles. That song doesn't appear on any greatest hits album because it was not a single. It was the B side. It was on a totally different album, but we flipped it over and we played that side. And for you Walkers out there and lovers, that's for you. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories on WOSD Radio, DD Chicago, WCHI Biggs Radio Chicago, WRLN Radio, a radio media station, and WBOE, the best of. When you were a kid, I hate to use that word kid, when you were a child, did you have aspirations of being in the business? Did you want to be a singer, songwriter, performer, whatever, but just didn't have the knowledge of how to go about doing it? And you've been making songs in your bedroom and playing them for your friends and everything else. It's like, okay, what else do I do with them? Well, listen up. I'm about to eat them now. I just warmed them up.
Seven seven three 462 4447. Send your MP3 photo and contact information to bigsradio at gmail.com.
And who knows, you might be the next Teddy Riley, Babyface in LA, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Still I can find. Be there November 15th. If you got what it takes or think you have what it takes, we'll be the judge of that. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Once again, we do a thing we call Who Did It Best? Well, listen to this one. Here's the late, great Whitney Houston, Living for the Love of You on Bedtime Stories. Drifting on the memory, there's no place I'd rather be. He's back. I'm back.
All of your favorite bullshit from back in the day with Al Greer on Bedtime Stories.
Yeah. Well. Well, you could have sent her. Oh, like I'm choking over here, huh? Mm-mm. At this time, the ballroom was closed. Mm-mm. Woo! I know that's right. See, back in the day when we played that song, you could not say anything until he said, "Write that down." One of the coolest lines in the song. For the love of you, Brothers Isley here, right here on Bedtime Stories. I don't know how I missed this guy's birthday. He's probably what? Actually, he's ranked number 4 on bass players in the entire world. Number 4. Wow. Hmm. He used to play with a group called the JBs. You probably remember that group. Yeah. I mean, he's played with everyone. Parliament Funkadelic. He provided lead vocals on Weapon of Choice. Delight. Groove is in the heart, baby. You already know what I'm talking about, baby Bubba. He was born William Earl Collins some 74 years ago, October 26, that is. 74 years. And he still looks young. He's the only one that I know of, besides Prince, who has his own signature bass or guitar or whatever. George Benson has his. Lee Ritenour plays George Benson's, but Bootsy, he has his own. Happy belated birthday, Bootsy. Mm-mm. Oh, my head's so hot. Ain't nothing growing up there. Nope, funky stuff. KP, what's going on? Happy Tuesday. Yeah, baby bubba. Cuz on the verge. Still getting down, baby. Mm-hmm. He said, ready for the weekend. Yeah. Like the OJ said, living for the weekend. It's like a throwback with the zipper all the way down the front. I'm like, you weren't even born when they started wearing those. And of course, he has no hips. Back in the day when the black girls wore those dresses with the zippers, oh Lord, we were hoping that the zipper would, inch down. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, baby. William Earl Collins. 5 your funky stuff. I am eating leftovers from Sunday. Chicken, cabbage, and corn that my sister cooked. My sister makes sure that I am fed because I am single. I have no one to cook for me except for her. She makes sure that her brother, her big brother, her only brother, is fed. So that's what I'm eating: chicken, cabbage, and corn. I guess I've always been spoiled by women.
My girlfriend. I'm fan to bedtime stories with my favorite guy, Dr. WOSD Radio and WC Topics Radio Chicago. From 9 p.m. to 12 p.m. the classic love songs where he push you to bed, never to sleep. Dr. Greer.
Light them up, baby. I might let this whole one play here. The whole one. Thank you. And the mac and cheese. Yes. I think I ate the mac and cheese first. I was like, mm, mm. And before I knew it, I had eaten all the mac and cheese. Everything else was still intact. It's like, ooh, this is good. What is this? Ooh, this is good. I maxed out the mac and cheese. Yes. Candy. Yep. I maxed the mac and cheese. It was like it never existed. hmm I need some more hot sauce. That's what's missing. Ah, love hot sauce commercial. The one where he says, "Yes, we do." If I could put it on cornflakes, I would. Hot sauce. Mm. Sweet enough to eat, baby. Sweet. Yes, indeedy. Oh, got Casper on Echoplex, baby. Got the munchies. Ooh. That's the whole thing. All 9 minutes and 27 seconds of funk, baby. In 2020, Rolling Stone magazine ranked Bootsy Collins number 4 on its list of the 50 greatest bassists of all time, or bass player. Mhm. He asked his mother why she named him Bootsy. She said, "You just look like a Bootsy." He said, "I left it at that." He was also, speaking of nicknames, he gave Babyface his nickname. William Earl Collins, better known as Bootsy, and Munchies for your love. Your love is so sweet, sweet enough to eat. Just like what's that stuff? Yeah, that you shouldn't give time because you have them bouncing off the wall. Yeah, that stuff. The first of two are little Anthony and the Imperial. Help me find a way. Help me. Help me. So hard for me. Why would I leave you? Why would I leave you? Why would I leave you? Plain and simple. If I love you, why would I? It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. L. Greer. This is Bedtime Stories. Lover's Mind, where we put you to bed with the greatest love songs of all time. As always, thank you for joining us. It could have been anywhere else. Mm, anywhere else. You could be in bed right now. Well, you might be in bed right now, and this is your way of winding down and listening to me. And I really appreciate that. You could be anywhere else. And I thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Once again, we do a thing we call Who Did It Best. I heard this song one night. I was like, wait a minute. I got to play that on my show, Distant Lover, on Bedtime Stories. Distant Lover. Wow. Mm. Excuse me. Come back.
Hmm. This is Natasha. My house is nervously to
Super E. So mean and cruel. Wow, have mercy. Marvin Gaye, Distant Lover, live here on Bedtime Stories with the people. I guess tonight I'm in a certain mood, so all the songs kind of going together. And I hope you guys are feeling it as well. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep. Or on the show, as a matter of fact. To our Kimberly Patterson, thank you so much for listening. Kimberly, of course, is all the way in Nashville, Tennessee, listening to me, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Kimberly. There was a rumor going around that we were dating. I'm like, how am I making it to work every night? That would be a long drive. Maybe I got to go to work. Oh, okay. Make that long 3-4 hour drive from Nashville back to Chicago just to do a 3 hour show to go back to Nashville. I mean, not that I wouldn't do it. I mean, you had to meet me halfway. Anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories. Who did it best? We heard from Marvin Gaye, the original. We heard from the 3 Degrees. But this one right here, the controllers take it to church. This is Distant Lover times 3 on Bedtime. My phone should be blowing up right now.
Like a fool when I lost that. Now I'm suffering the pain, the sweet love.
Come on, boy.
Never get another chance to let you know how I feel, baby. You can be plain, you can be free, you can be spoken, you can be doing anything you want to be doing. Come on, you
Really, truly in love? That's a good question. I can tell you how I felt when I knew I was truly in love. It happened when I met someone that made everything that I enjoy in life a little bit more special. And plus, I felt it in my pants.
He's the love doctor with your prescription. From Greer with bedtime stories.
That is Climax, featuring Cinderella on lead vocals, and I Miss You, here on Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, to where we put you to bed, but never to sleep with the greatest love time. It is your Al Greer. Thank you so much for being with me, and thank you for sharing Facebook Live feed. I appreciate that as well. It is almost time for foreplay, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy the foreplay artist that I picked tonight, since nobody else helped me out. But that's okay. It's my show, so I'm supposed to do everything. Everything, everything. Foreplay in 1 minute.
Okay, it's Friday, November 28th at the JLL Center, 2622 West Jackson Street. Hosted by Enzo and Theo Huff. It's South versus West. Total package versus delivery. Also featuring Melissa and Mr. Dion, Trisha Triple, and Ronnie G. Admission is just $40. Tickets are available by calling 773-999-5054 or 708-730-1288. Join us for a night of live blues, R&B, soul, and house music. Doors open at 6, showtime at 7 p.m. Food will be sold on site. It's the battle of the bands. South versus West, hosted by Enzo and Theo. Friday, November 28th at the JLN Center, 2622 West Jackson Street. Presented by Show Entertainment and Fly Guy Productions. Are you ready?
I think I'm ready. I don't know about you. Anyway, it is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories. On WOH Radio, Chicago, taking you WRLN Radio, a radio media station, and WBOE, which stands for the best of everything. And that, of course, owned by the professor, Reggie Miles, the professor of walking. This thing for you. But we'll explain it to you later on. Because right now it's time for foreplay. This lady has been on tour ever since she was a teenager. At one point, she sang with a group called the Bluebells. And she was performing at the Apollo Theater. And she tore the house down, her and her two friends. So much so that the Godfather of Soul said, let the curtain down on that girl. He didn't say girl either. And of course, later on, they became friends, and everything else. He was the Godfather of Soul. She was the or is the godmother of soul. Bluebells, later to be called LaBelle in the 70s, before disbanding in 1976. She has a solo career, or has had a solo career that has gone on for decades. Recently, she was on a interview show. Her and Stephanie Mills admitted to having nose jobs at the suggestion of Mr. Michael Jackson. So you get more gigs that way. Like, what? I've been in radio something 40 years ago, 40 years now, and I have never had any work done that you all know of. But anyway, she was born 1981 years ago, May 24th, 1944. Patricia Louise Holt. I just call her Auntie Patty. Tonight in Foreplay, we feature the music of Patti LaBelle, the godmother of soul, here on Bedtime Stories. Mm-mm. And Mary. See, I can sing tonight because Barbara Jean ain't on. Woo! Breathe. Only you knew. Breathe. If only. Coughing up stuff. Well, wake up with a crusty nose. Uh, I'm sure you didn't want details, but I'm getting better. By the weekend, I coughed up all of the chest congestion. Otherwise, I'm all right. Coughing, sneezing, waking up in the middle of the night every hour. I go to bed at 1, wake up at 3, wake up at 5, wake up, yeah. Let's see, 5, wake up at 7, go on Facebook, post it on. I'm going to be on the air. That's it. I'm feeling a little better. Woo! Yep, I'm feeling a little better. That's about it. Yep. Sneeze and blow my nose, and then I cough. It's like my stomach, the coughing and the sneezing and the blowing the nose and the stuff. So otherwise, I'm okay. Yeah. What's inside is coming out, and what's not coming out is, you know, making it worse. Yeah. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. If you don't know me by now, originally done by Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, featuring Teddy Pendergrass. It is your peanut butter brother Greer. She used to sing with a group called Patty and the Bluebells. Those members consisted of Cindy Birdsong, Sarah Dash. Cindy Birdsong replaced Florence Ballard in the Supremes, which kind of made Auntie Patty a little mad. So she took a girl. That was okay. They continued as a trio. Had a hit song back in '76, which was Lady Marmalade. And I guess the rest they say was history. I want to say that it was, yeah, it was that 75, 70s. It was, she, of course, was the creator of Patty Pies. Patty Pies? Oh, she has been described in pop culture as the greatest gay icon of all time and a prime example of the intersection of the LGBTQ community of Black female artists, which means every Black man has a picture of Patti LaBelle on his wall somewhere. Anyway, enough about Patti. We love her. She is an icon, one of the greatest singers to ever live, female or male. Speaking of males, somebody did a song for her. That guy was James Ambrose Johnson Jr., better known to us as Rick James. Spicy Love from the album Bustin' Out of L7 on Bedtime Stories. Hey Gladys, you still down in Florida? You just road running there. In Florida. All right. Wow. In Philadelphia next week. All right. Say hi to my Uncle Earl Young in Philadelphia. If you don't know who Earl Young is, one of the greatest drummers who ever lived. the store, I know exactly what I want. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Shouting out my best friend in the whole wide world, Gladys Horton. She's in Florida right now. She's going to Philadelphia next week. I'm like, wow. Like I always say, I can't even afford to go to Gary, but I did on Saturday. Had to fill up the tank just to go to Gary. At least they fed me pancakes. So, and of course, I got dissed by a public official, but that's okay. She wasn't my type anyway. Anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, a show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. As I said earlier, gay men love Patti LaBelle. Somebody texted me and said, Patti LaBelle is gay? No, no. Gay men love Patti. They want to be like Patti. For Halloween, they probably dress like her and everything else. So I'm just saying, you'd have to ask a gay man. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories with the first of two in a row from DeBarge. Love me in a special way, because you know I'm special too. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories. Love me now. It was good to see you too, Gladys. I'm like, look at Gladys. It's like, I guess we both getting old. I'm like, look at Gladys getting old. But she still looked the same. Like, how is that possible? Me, I'm getting old and look old. She's getting old and doesn't look old. She doesn't look her age. I'm like, you still look like a kid. I got to tell you guys this. Gladys, when I met her, I was living on, I want to say 67th and Prairie. And it was warm. And I had just met Gladys. She's like, and I froze. I'm like, oh, okay. You know, we were that comfortable with each other. You know, most people thought, oh, I know you hitting that. I'm like, Gladys just took her shirt off. Like, what you gonna do to me? First of all, she was a bodybuilder. What was I gonna do to her? Like, ooh, I'm gonna try to take this. You're right. I would have taken an ass whooping. That's what I would have taken. Take my shirt. It's like we've been cool ever since. Yeah. Gladys said, "Do you mind if I take my shirt?" I don't mind. We took our shirt off. I was like, "Okay, we cool. We we've been cool since." I remember her birthday party one year. That was that was a good party. That's all I got to say. That was a good party. That was a party. A party to end all parties. I think she took her shirt off that night too. Okay. Well, anyway, it was so long ago. I don't quite remember. Time will reveal. Yes, it will. Two in a row from DeBarge here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Once again, hello to my good friend Gladys. Thank you so much for being on my live. I really appreciate it. And I hope I didn't embarrass you by telling that story about you coming to my house and taking your shirt off. It was purely, it was like a brother and sister type thing. Like, okay, it was hot that day. I think it was like 100 degrees in my apartment. She said, "It's hot. No, you have a what you call a AC unit?" I said, "No." She said, "You mind if I take my shirt off?" I'm like, "Okay." Mm-mm-mm. Anyway, I know it's 12:44 in Florida right now, so go to bed. I love you too. Thank you so much, Gladys. I appreciate you. I really appreciate you. Here's more from Patty, this time with Grover Washington Jr. The best is yet to come. I keep telling myself that. Best is yet to come. It's bedtime stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer.
Now close the door. Close the door. And keep your hands up. Now go close to the vehicle. With your legs spread. Okay. You got any weapons on you? Huh? Okay. All right. You know I'm pulling you over? Keep your hands up. Now I'm pulling you over? Let's stop. You kept sitting in your bed. Yeah, I kept trying to stop. And you kept going. You didn't see me? You was distracted. You was texting the driver. You was looking at your map. Where you from? Yeah, put your hands up. Were you visiting? Well, it's a law that you can't have your phone in your head when you drive. Oh, that's why y'all be getting so many accidents out
I'm glad I didn't embarrass you. Somebody asked, "What happened after you took your shirt off?" Nothing. Nothing. Not a thing.
Come on, fellas, listen, I can understand you being angry, but you know, you can't blame the way.
Ladies, he's your man at night. Al Greer with Bedtime Stories.
So come on.
Like to try some of these more. These nuts on your forehead. Oh my.
There's someone watching many years. One message. Red love.
That's my man Glenn Jones and Bring Back Your Love. This was supposed to be my last song for foreplay tonight on Patti LaBelle, but I just couldn't take it. So I waited to play this. It always brings me to tears. It's Patti LaBelle, and You Are My Friend on Bedtime Stories. You may all cry now. Vince Harper, good night. That's so sad because it's the truth. It's looking all around. You were there all the time, 2 blocks away. That's going to do it for me, Al Greer. Thank you so much for staying up with me. To my sister, Angie, to my best friend, Gladys, to Vince Harper, who checked in at the last minute. Thank you so much. My daughter, Brianna, Kimberly Patterson, I appreciate you, and everybody. Um, Brother Deron Williams, and all the stations for letting me take another minute of your time this evening. We'll do it tomorrow. Till next time, blue skies, green lights, and peace. Good night, Monique. And that's it, ladies and germs. Nighty night.